So you're considering flying a flag, American flag, off the back of your truck. There's been a flag flying off this back of this truck for about 12 years now. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have discovered over the years, what works, what doesn't work, what you need to do to help ensure your flag lasts a little bit longer, especially if you're going to fly them continuously. So after a time period, they start to get pretty tattered on the ends, and if I can get the wind to stop long enough, they get pretty destroyed. It doesn't take a whole lot for them to get tattered and ripped and looking pretty cruddy. So what you don't want to buy, what you don't want to spend money on unless you're going to putz around town at 25 miles an hour, is one of those 80-mile-an-hour rated flags. What's going to happen with those is you're going to get out, you're going to hit about 55 miles an hour, it's going to bullwhip on you, you'll hear a big old curve pop, and it's going to split right down the stripes. So personal recommendation, do not use one of those unless you're going to run around town. What I found that works really good is the poly-cotton flags. They are lighter but heavy enough to deal with it. The two brands that I generally use, because they're both made in the USA, is the Annin flag and the Grace Alley flag. So I flew the Annin flag for many years, and it was great up until just recently. And I had to go to the Grace Alley for a couple of reasons. They started really chinsing on some of this stuff, but specifically here at the grommets. As you can see, you can almost see through this. You can see where they stopped the flag prior to the grommet. So this is just this super thin material that's folded over. I was sewing around the back side of the grommet 5, 6, 7 times on these, and still they would rip out. One of the things you will have to do with any flag you buy is you're going to have to go through, or I highly recommend you go through because it makes it last a lot longer, take your sewing machine and sew the tops and the bottom of these again, because the stitch that they use on these, once it pops open, it just pulls out like a dog food bag. On the ends of flags where this is, and they've folded it over, doubled it up, it's real heavy, it's real thick. What ends up happening is that first it separates and then it starts to shred. I run an extra stitch right down the inside one, top to bottom all the way, but then I come inside and I run 2 and 3 stitches inside of that. What that does is this is going to stretch right here, and it's going to rip and it's going to tear off of there eventually, actually pretty quick. Once you get to the inside of this, on the thinner lines where it's not doubled up, there's not the weight, and it takes it a lot longer to shred, like the flag that I just showed you. The reason I went to the Grace Alley flags, stay on the table. The reason I went for the Grace Alley flag is for the construction. This is a slightly heavier flag than the Annin, but here at the grommets, the flag, which is, like I said, slightly heavier, is run all the way back here to the backer. The grommets run through then this backer plus the flag, so you got 3 levels of material back here, and I don't have to sew around the grommets on these, and they don't pop out. They are much stronger. I still, again, because the stitches have to go through and basically surround the entire flag, other than that stitch right there, with straight stitches off of a sewing machine. Now this flag that I just showed you is a Grace Alley. It's been back here for probably 900 miles now, and that's including freeway driving. Those grommets are not pulling out, they're not stretched, and that is why, because Grace Alley builds a better flag for this specific purpose why I will use and recommend Gray Sally flags on the back of a truck. The Annin flags I have will be donated to somebody that has a thrashed and trashed flag on their flagpole at their house, figuring that if it's thrashed and trashed, they can't afford a new one, so I will donate these Annins to them. Thank you. I hope this helps you.